Happy November, everybody. Now, I just wanted to share this video with you, a personal video for just those of you who own 529 college saving accounts. I'm only sending this to those of you that I know have them. But if you know others that have them, feel free to share this video with them. As always, with 529 plans, a few things to keep in mind. First, always check with your tax advisor before investing. And as these plans are usually state specific, please check to see that the proper care is taken to review your state's plan to see if there are benefits that you should know about. Now, you've already done all that because you probably invested in them. That's why I'm sending you the video. But here you go. There's some important dates and information that you should know, and there's also some confusion about the new law that allows unused 529 plans to be converted to Roth IRAs. Before you get too far into this, again, please consult your tax advisor on how these items may be best used for your tax situation. The information I'm going to give you will be important, but more about the rules than about the advising part of the tax side. I want to talk to you about a few things. First, I want to talk about the deadlines and the limits. Then I want to talk to you about the rules that have been adjusted so that grandparents who make these plans don't mess up your financial aid. And finally, I want to explain and possibly debunk the Roth conversion plan with these assets. So first, let's talk about deadlines. This is a big one. I know at the end of the year coming, everyone gets a bit extra busy, especially with vacations and like that. But here's the key. If you paid for qualified education expenses in 2024, you need to file for reimbursement before the end of this year. All reimbursements must be processed by the end of the year that the expenses were incurred and paid. That is the getting the money out part. Let's talk about those of you who are still building this up and putting money in. The deadline is also December 31st. Now, there are some plans that do allow you to make previous year contributions, but you have to check with your plan. How much can you give in 2024? The gift tax annual exclusion for 2024 is $18,000. So this can be tricky, so please be sure to coordinate with your tax advisor. Any gift made counts towards this limit. So beware of your gifting strategy for your financial plan. This $18,000 is per person who gives and per person who receives. It sounds like a tongue twister, but almost anyone can give almost anyone $18,000 a year. This can be combined with husband and wife or grandmother and grandfather, with each of them allowed to give the gift. Mom and dad can give $36,000 in 1 year to one child. You can see how this can add up. If you want to work on this for your estate plan, please call me about this. When this was first enacted, these 529 plans first started, this was not only an education savings vehicle, it was an estate planning vehicle also. Call me if you want some information on this. One last contribution limit idea. If you want to front load your gift, get as much money as you can in now that will allow this money to start growing tax-free sooner, you can use the 5-year rule. This allows for 5 years of gifts to be made at one time per person. That allows $90,000 per giver, as much as $180,000 for mom and dad. This is where this comes into play for estate plans. So again, call me about that. Okay, now 2 quick final items. First, the rules for financial aid. The FAFSA form, for all who know, the 2024-2025 form has major changes that change the whole situation for grandparent-held 529 plans. In the past, the forms required that the student was required to disclose, quote, cash support, close quote, including money that came from the grandparents' 529 and used for qualified education expenses. This question is no longer on the form. That cash support was used against the student in financial aid decisions. This is no longer the case. It's still important to plan carefully, but this is one major hurdle that seems to be removed. Finally, I want to address the idea that some people are viewing as the savior of unused financial 529 plans. In the Secure Act 2.0 that was passed in late 2022, there was a provision included that allows an out for the leftover funds in 529 accounts. That's great, right? Well, not so fast. Yes, it can be great, but beware, the rules make this much less exciting. I will suggest that it may help in some rare cases, but just to lay it out, the legislation allows for unused 529 plan money to be rolled into a Roth IRA for that beneficiary. Great, right? Yes, great. But first of all, the 529 plan must have been in place for 15 years. In addition, if you have a lot of money in the plan, beware the total amount that can be used in this rule, $35,000. Finally, remember, there are annual contribution limits per person to Roth IRAs. In 2024, that's $7,000, and that's the annual limit on these conversions too. You can't exceed that annual contribution even to get the money out of the 529. There are other rules and regulations, but those are the 3 main ones. So as I said, it's not as great as it sounds for most people. That being said, there are ways to deal with 529s, even when the student has graduated and still has the funds. Please let me know if you want to talk about that, because there's some exciting stuff there. For now, that's enough. You all have plenty to do as the year comes to an end, and the 529 should be on that list. Please let me know if I can help. Call me and we'll review. Have a great day.